everyone, welcome back to the channel, and you're joining me for my first ever battle video, where I'm going to be going up against the local player Ghost19's EmperorGreymon list. So, without further ado, let's see the action. Starting off with, I go for a mulligan. Not like my opening hand this there. Need to make sure I've got an opening hand to work with. So Ghost does make sure he's got his good opening hand to go with. I think just now we're just having a little chin wag about what's happening, what we're thinking of. So this was filmed at our local game store. I've decided to cut the audio for it just because we had other people around us. They were playing games, and I didn't feel right to record them without their notion or their desire to want to record it. And my opponent wins the roll-off, so he is going up first. He takes the Cormon into the Flamemon. Playing the Flamemon for the search. Pulls the Susano Ace to start with. But not taking it and choosing to bottom deck it. I think I was going to make sure he had access to his tamers or other points at the point. So I hatch the EX8 Cormon. I play offense to give myself a quick search. Of course, the token falls over. Grabbing a hero and an offense. Choosing to take the offense, bottom decking the hero. And then playing Ryu to pass my opponent. This is a very interesting match looking back on it, as both of us can really go up our lines very quickly if given the chance. Check security, drops another Ryu, so I've got two tamers set on board. An ideal situation for Dino. Swings again, checks. Checks the EX8 Agu, lives. And checks the and is deleted. And then plays the Penguinmon. The blue-red. Passes back to me. I take the extra 2 from the 2 tamers. Still looking for that rookie. I hard slam BT11 Tyranno and pass my opponent at 2. So yeah, I am struggling for my rookie this game. I think both of us are struggling in this regard. He's not seeing any tamers. I'm not seeing any of my starting pieces, so I'm hoping that this BT11 Tyranno survives. And of course, he swings for the Kaze, suspends it, he does the full combo. That Tyranno was not long for this world. Checks a master, and it stays around. Still my opponent's already deciding what to do. And goes into the Kumon. Passing me at 2. So I go up to 4. Just needing to figure out what I'm going to do here. I think I'm still struggling for pieces. I've got the memory. I think at this point I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. So yeah, a hard slam on BT EX8 Meld Tyrannomon. I suspend his on play. I suspend him to de-digivolve the Zephyrmon back down to Kaze. Yeah, like this game, we were struggling to get our pieces up and going. We were struggling to get our systems up. So he goes into... That goes into Korikaku, hits the EX8 Tyranno, so it does stay around. It's on the field now. And he hard slams Tommy, so I have lots of memory to work with. I have both a level 5 and a level 4 on field. And I get my first rookie in the back. Now the question becomes, am I able to start capitalizing on this? The answer is yes, going EX8 Tyranno into Tyranno X, placing the X antibody underneath. Do I actually know why I placed X antibody underneath? The thing is, I had it in hand, just wanted to make sure. I'm deciding what to want to do. So I swing. Go into that for 2. Digivolve. And I do have it in hand. I tap the Ryu, and I go into Dinomon. Suspending that to pop, then deleting it. Continuing with attacks, swinging Dinomon into my opponent suspended with ludicrous high DP. Because I've got the Metal Shrine one, I trash his first security. And then check 2. So there's his Tamers, all his Tamers in security. 2 Zoes back to back. And I just swing with the Metal Tyrannomon just to see what else I hit. A Gunimon. And then Digivolve back just to pass turn. So Tyrannomon is sitting there. He's got his +3. But unfortunately, he doesn't seem to have access to the dual tamer right now, which means his options for swinging back are very limited. And I've also got him quite low on memory. So right now he's just discarding tamers, getting extra draw, getting extra memory. He moves up the Flamemon. Goes into Kaze. And there's the dual tamer. And I think at this point it's a little too late. So everyone unsuspends. I have an absolute overabundance of memory. I swing the Dinomon to stack. Alda. Swing with Tyranno. And that's game. I think it was just a case of, for a Ghost, he just wasn't seeing his tamers. He wasn't able to get the setup right, and I was able to capitalize on that fact. And to show my last security was Delicate Plan. Second game. My opening hand, I've got my security out. Both choosing no mulligans here. And my opponent has chosen to go second. I'm going first. So once again, hatch the EX8 Agu. And we go into EX8 Agumon for cost 1. I should say EX8 Koromon into EX8 Agu. And he drops the Zoe. Into EX8 Tyranno in back. And then dropping EX8 Agu up front. We do a search. BT14, EX8, and Tyranno X. So this is a hard pick here. I go for the Tyranno X. I think it's a very valuable piece for the deck. You always want to make sure you've got it. So he discards, he searches, Digivolves into Kazemon, Suspends Agu. Does combo. First check was Tinkerbon. So he easily gets through. He's still got some memory left. He's just deciding what he wants to do. He's got the dual tamer down. And goes into Aldemon. Passes me at 3. I've got no tamers out, so no bonuses, no anything. Oh, sorry, Angle. It passes to me at 2, so I've got 2 more to work with. I've got the EX8 Tyranno in back. I do decide to raise him up. So I'm going into the Tyranno X. Right. I think at this point I'm trying to decide if... So I've made sure I've got his +3 on him, so he's got +5 just now. But I think what I'm trying to figure is I do have a Master Tyrannomon in hand. Because right now, if he's got any bonuses, he doesn't have any bonuses, I can take it out. But if he does, can't swing because he is more than 8k. So I decided to go into Metal Tyrannomon. I do go for that one, pay the 2 costs because of the extra Tyrannomon. Digivolve, continue to swing in. Plays out the Zoe for effect. And then I check 1. It's Kumon, we're fine. And then I play Ryu to pass. He goes to 3 with his Tamer. And that just leaves Metal Tyranno at 10k on my side of the field suspended. So what you're going to see from the match is actually quite interesting because this version of Emperor Grey has so much recursion potential that what you can see right here is like my opponent is able to keep stacking the deleted hybrids under them, under the dual tamer to keep them stocked up. It's very hard for me to sort of clear board in this regard. So he played a Searcher, played another Tamer, sets me a 3. I'll unsuspend, start main, go to 4 with the Tamer effect. Hatch the BT14 Cormon. At this point, BT14 Cormon might well just be the red egg. So into EX8, the green-purple Agumon, because it is 0 off a Cormon. I'm going to swing Metal Tyrannomon, I'm going to use Ryu, I'm going to go into Dinomon. I'm going to pop it with the effect. We're going to swing, 2 checks. Ooh, and we hit the option. Ice to Sword, Wind to Fire, I think. It's a cool name, it's just like, it's sometimes hard to remember. At least it's not the Seeker's option. Please don't ask me to repeat the Seeker's option, I can't. And yeah, we go into BT11 in back, just to pass over turn. He goes to 3. And what we're about to see is what makes this such a difficult matchup for the Dinomon side. So my opponent does discards and searches, adds in the hybrids. Just making sure he's got all the right numbers. Do have to be different names, but I think he's got enough. And here it comes. Flame on for a quick search. Extra drop. He wants to be absolutely certain he's got his pieces. And yep, here it comes. EmperorGreymon. So it's for cost 5. And now he's checking how many colors he's got in source. So he's got red, yellow, green, blue, and most importantly, purple. Which means he can take out 5 sources, which is exactly enough to strip Dinomon of any fortitude chance. And this is the turn. So 2 checks. We're good. He hits Medieval Gallant, my one copy of Medieval Gallantmon. Swings again. And he hits the giant missile. It's unfortunate for my opponent. He still gets his tamers back. Though it does leave me on a risky position of 1 memory. It's like, can I come back from this? Spoiler alert, no. So yes, this matchup, it's one of the ones that surprised me, is the new, like the group hug EmperorGreymon deck, because of its source strip ability, as long as it's got that extra color, because it's a tricolor deck. It's mostly red, green, blue. However, the dual tamer has yellow, which usually means, okay, most time you're looking at four colors, 4 sources they're going to get rid of. However, when follow links, you can see the deck list posted. My opponent ran 2 copies of a red-purple Agunimon, which meant he had access to a 5th color, which means without X antibody, which I just didn't have at this point, he would always be able to get rid of the sources, go through, swing twice, piercing in, and I've just got to hope he doesn't have a second Emperor. So I've gone back up to Dinomon. There's no board to clear, but I've gone through, I've cleared out security, so we're both, he's at 0, I'm at 1. Granted, this puts him definitely on the back foot. He needs to push through, he needs to clear the game. So yep, he's adding in all the hybrids, all with different names in, making sure he's got everyone he needs. And he has another Emperor. He's got another one in hand. Yeah, I'm just counting through, making sure he's got... Yep, just... This is a casual game, it's not a tournament, it's not anything like that. And there it is. So, once again, all my sources will get stripped out for me because he has 5 colors thanks to that red-purple Agunimon. And then he swings in, pierces, and then the dual tamer lets him swing and game. So, 1-all. Final match. So at this 3rd game, I'm realizing I need to make sure I've got access to X antibodies. I ran only 2 in this build, but I think in future builds that I've run, I've actually upped that to 3. Just because I know Sword Strip is very popular just now, with like dominance of blue and such. So I keep hand, I go. My opponent does not. He shows me that it is a bad hand. So he goes for his mulligan. It is interesting that his deck has only 2 of that red purple Agunimon, which means most of the time, and in other games that we've played, he's only managed to get rid of 4 sources, which means having that Tyranno X gives me an extra source, lets him stay around, triggers Fortitude, can actually pop the Emperor before he gets his chance to do the Pierce and everything else. But the problem is, I was not seeing my X antibodies after that first game. I think we're just discussing things here. Have a quick little chat. So, I believe I've decided to take first turn here, so I'm going to be swinging out first. Quick cut. We hatch EX8 Koro again. We go into EX8 Agumon. We do pay the 1 for it, so we pass my opponent over at 1. So he's got his security set up. Let's draw 5. And he hatches BT14 Koro. Oh, does he have something he can go? Yep, he's got the penguin, so he does it for 1. And then slops down the Tommy, the dual color, the red blue or blue red. I can never figure out which way it's supposed to go. So I do an offense, top 2. So I've got Dino Rex or Agumon. I take the Agu. Dino Rex is a weird one. I like the idea of what it can do if my opponent goes really wide with stuff, and the fact that if it sticks around, if my opponent tries to swing with low bodies, I can get rid of them. So I play the Agu. I search. I grab 1. Once again, I pass my opponent to 1. Trash with Tommy effect, gain a memory. Swings. Deletes with the master. Draws 1 from Koromon. And there's the dual tamer. It does seem like for either side of this deck, either the Emperor or the Magna, as long as you get that dual tamer down, that's the point I think that your opponent has to start worrying. So I take a quick swing with Agu into that, hit Alda and stack, he gets deleted. I play a Ryu for 3. And then I play Garnet for 3 again. So we have a look at the top 3. We have Guilmon, Dinomon, and Hero. So we take the Dinomon, bottom deck the Hero, and the Guilmon. Likewise, so this is an old build of Dinomon I had. I've made some improvements, I've made some changes, so hopefully we'll see those in some future reports, future matches. Mostly it's the changes are in the level 3 slot. Initially, I had 4 copies of Tinkermon, 2 copies of the Rush Guilmon, because I kept thinking, oh, there's probably a lot of chances that there's going to be plenty of stuff in trash. I can just, sorting this Diamond, oh, it's enough, and then slap that Guilmon down. It never, at that point, it never really felt worth it. So what I've done is I've dropped the Tinkermons down to 2, and what I've added in is the ST7 Guilmon, as its inheritable synergizes super well with the deck. So yep, opponent plays out some more Tamers. It's set to 3. Adds in. Drops another Tommy. So right now, both of us are just very cagey. We're both biding our time. We're both setting our resources up. He's got 3 Tamers. I have my Accelerator Tamer. And I've got a Training and a Memory Boost up. So I move up. So I gain the 1 from the Ryu. Activate my delay on the Training. So I go up. Go into BT11. Now searching my hand, do I have a 3 cost or less Tamer? I do not. But I do have Tyranno X. As a Dynamo player, this is all you need. As long as you've got the Tamer and the Tyranno X. Oh, opponent jumping the gun there. We go into Master. Triggering his ability, we suspend something and we pop an 8k or less. So it pops that. Yep. Nope, Kazemon does not play it out, so Tommy does go in the trash. And then with that, so we're swinging in for a mighty 3 checks. And plus 4. So we're at 17k. Oh, with a Susano option, Kumamon, and a Zoe. So removing the counter just to show that my opponent that no power boost on him. And there's the tricolor option. Ice to fire, wind to ice to sword, wind to something. It's cool if you remember it. There's the Emperor. And he's counting up his sources. Which colors does he have? Yep, he's got the 5. There goes my sources. Swings. Deletes Dino. Draws from Penguin. Triggers the end of turn attack. Yep, it's a Meltdown and Dinomon in security. And I am struggling. So I hatch BT14 Koro. I gain 1, so I'm at 2 just now. Now at this point, I do have that Rush Guilmon in hand, so I'm just double checking how many cards exactly do I have. Could I do it? Could I? Double checking my counts. Like I think I come out to I've got 11 or 12 secure cards in trash. So it's like because it does count both players, but at this point it's like there's no way my opponent has 8 in their trash. Most of that trash is now underneath Emperor. And here's where desperation kicks in. Because there is a play I can do. It's a bold play. and it's a dumb play. However, looking at this board state, it feels like my best option. I crack Garnet. I gave myself an extra +2. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. I hard slammed Dinomon. I hard slammed level 6. Its ability is on play, so I do delete the Kaiser. I do delete the Emperor. I suspend him for his on play, and at this point, I am just hoping that he doesn't have one in hand. Because he has a Penguinmon in Raising, and he can bring that up. However, I'm 13k. He can only go into me. If I survive, I'm fine. I'm just doing a little tidy up all my counters and dice. Yep, he does his little tamer shenanigans, so he's maxed at 10 memory. He's loading up the dual tamer. And so at this point I realize, I know what's happening. I know exactly what's happening. And he pushes up. There's the Emperor. Doesn't matter about sword stripping, I've already gone. And he's doing the full play. There's the Susano option. And there it is, Susano Ace. Remember, he shirks back to his side. He gets deleted. Just counting up how much DP he can do. More than enough. Susano swings. And then he takes out his tamers to trash my security. And that, folks, is indeed game. EmperorGreymon takes the victory. It's a very interesting matchup. I think, as I said, if I had X antibody at any point in those last two games, I think I could have swung this better in my favor. But it does show that if you're wanting to fight against Dinomon, the best thing you can do is find some way to get rid of its sources. Because without its sources, it can't trigger Fortitude, it can't come back, and you leave it in a position where it's like, at worst, I'm hard slamming the level 6 down just to do anything. So, thanks for staying around, thanks for tuning in, until next time, may you find peace through gaming.